Good day, everyone. I intend to be in communication with you through messages such as this one that I'm about to deliver and into the future while we can't meet face to face. By the end of this time of social distancing, self-isolation and social isolation, whichever one you happen to be engaging in, I'm really hopeful that we can all be a bit more tech savvy. I think that's the way the world is going to go. And this is one of the resources that we can exploit, not just for now, but into the future. It's an additional useful way of being connected. It's a brave new world for all of us. I know I'm learning a great deal of ways of utilising social media to be connected with those I love and care for, and with you, my parishioners. I'm continuing to explore with our leadership team ways we can communicate and connect with one another. Maybe you're feeling challenged to stay connected as I am and have been successful to varying degrees. The world is changing at a rapid pace, especially at this time. It's really hard to keep up with it, but the challenge is for all of us to persist. I have to admit that it's also really hard not to feel a bit flat as well. Every time you turn on the television or the radio or read newspapers, you get a coronavirus update. And that can, particularly if you're just crunching the numbers about those who have been infected, those who have survived, and those who have died, it can indeed be frightful news and impress upon us the need to be isolated. It can be really easy to feel somewhat bombarded by all of it. The stage 3 of our social isolation is the latest part of our lockdown. So it's important for us to look after our own mental health. It's really important for us to remain connected. So whilst we're socially distancing ourselves, we shouldn't think that that means that we need to be isolated. What is really important and is part and parcel of our human nature is that we remain connected as we possibly can. This modern technology stuff that many of us are grappling with at this time is a medium and a tool for us to be connected, and we should be using it. I have to admit that I've been rather cynical of social media as a poor means of justifying communication, when I think there is nothing that compares with being in one another's company. But this is all we have at this stage, and we are fortunate indeed in our technologically advanced society that we can use it to remain close to one another, albeit in ways that might well be quite new and strange. So please think about those different platforms that are available to you. Some of them are very simple. You don't need to do very much to actually remain connected through any of them. But please utilise them, because whilst we're directed to be socially distant, we aren't meant to be isolated. We are, after all, communitarian. It is part and parcel of the nature of being human. And while some are introverts by nature and need solitude, we actually are not designed to be isolated. So it's really important for us to think of anyone who may be on their own, to enable them to be connected. So if you know someone who could just simply use a phone call, please make it and ask if they're okay. I've been using video conferencing recently for meetings through Zoom. And though I find it a poor replacement for physically gathering with each other, it does enable us to actually see each other and see how they are. I would hope over the next few weeks that we can provide podcasts, reading material, and perhaps online spiritual retreats that we can follow up with one another through group discussion. So please check the parish website, www.cam.org.au www.ecc.org.au/Greensboro for regular details and updates. Something and I'm sure all of you are concerned about is whether those we love and care for are okay. I'm aware of parishioners I see on a regular basis who might be struggling at this time, and I can't check all of them to see whether they are okay. Some do not have access to the internet, and so we can't use social media to connect with them. So maybe we could be aware of those in our neighbourhood, or those we regularly see at Mass, particularly the more aged and vulnerable, if they are okay. Perhaps if you're a person who takes communion to the sick and housebound, this might be a time during which you can phone them and ask if there's any way you or we can be of assistance to them. A number of parishioners have made themselves available to assist those who are housebound, and working in collaboration with our St Vincent de Paul team are ready to help people who we may become aware of who need this to take an order of groceries or medication or purchase them on their behalf. Some people might be self-isolating and unable to get out to the shops, particularly for grocery shopping, to go down to the pharmacy to pick up prescriptions or medications. So if you are in that category, could you please let us know here in the parish office? You can do it by making a phone call or very simply sending an email. But if you do need some help, we have a group of people who are more than happy to help you. Now, there are lots of ways that we can do that without breaching any of the isolation rules. What is an essential service, and for our church, we have a number of organisations that are part of our church, and they are considered essential services. So going out to perhaps not necessarily visit people, but perhaps to do some shopping for them, to pick up some of their essential items, is considered an essential service that fits very much into our parameters. Just contact the parish office if you're in need of that type of assistance, or if you know of someone who is. We don't need to be alone at this time. Take care of yourself, be gentle and compassionate to yourself and your loved ones, and keep yourself and those you love safe. Until next time, know that I hold you in my thoughts and prayers.